Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm going to be going over a trade I took on the morning of August 12th, 2025 on NASDAQ. Now, this session was the morning of CPI. CPI was this candle here. This was 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern Time. I do not play the CPI moves. I play the reactions from the market session immediately after CPI. So in this case, we had a very bullish reaction on a cold print, and then immediately out of the gate here, the price action comes back up and fills the imbalance created by CPI instantly, and then rolls all the way back over. Now, my bias plays into this trade here, which I recommend, even if you are a scalper, the macro theme needs to affect your minor bias. So the trend for me has been aggressively bullish now for months and months and months. So I have been aggressively in buy the dip mode for about 8 weeks now, and it's played very, very well for me. It's treated me very well. I've pretty much ignored any short side of the market and just waited for my opportunity to buy. And today was no different. So as the price action is rolling over, I am looking for one thing to get me to start and looking for an entry, and that is volume down here. If you don't know, I play what's called the 3 criteria trades, and the 3 criterion are 1, volume, 2, price action or wicks, and 3, in the movement over the prior close. If you're interested, I posted a video about the 3 criteria last week. Link is down in the description. So what we got here, right at the 10 o'clock candle, we had a very large inflow of volume here, which typically happens at the 10 o'clock move. And then secondly, we had a wick on the price action. This tells me that dealers have found support, at least temporary. The follow-on candle took out the prior low. Once it breaches that prior high, I elected to take entry, which was 23,663. Now, you could have got an earlier entry in. However, I only play an early entry or a front run position if we are nearing some sort of strong location, like a monthly low or a daily low. In this case, we didn't quite get there. If we would have got down to the 600 area, I most likely would have front run a position on volume alone and just adjusted my risk according to the wick. But in this case, I had to wait for the 2 criteria to trade and then take over the high because we weren't at a very strong location yet. So in this case, the market bounces at 624. I take entry at 663 right here. And at that point, it's just a process of managing my stops. I let the market climb, and then I trail my stops through liquidity as the market climbs. Now, my target for this was gunning to 808, which was the prior morning high. These red lines you see, that's the first hour high and the first hour low. That's the morning range I play. And I was confident that after they bounced this market here like this, that was going to be the target for the upside. And that was because of 2 reasons. One was because the prior session was aggressively sell with very little volume, with a lot of put buying and call selling. The 0 DTEs controlled the market the prior session with no volume, and I knew the way they do things with CPI that they would probably do something along the lines of the exact opposite. And a relentless macro bull trend with a session with very aggressive selling with no volume, they're going to get people comfortable shorting, and then they're going to ram it down your throat. And that's what they did, and that's why this position worked out really well. The second reason was because of Bookmap here. If you're not familiar with Bookmap, is a visual representation of the order book. And you see here that Bookmap had liquidity up at 830, which was skewed higher. Once we came back off, they removed that liquidity, and then they started stacking more to the upside to skew the book back up to 800. So I know that the order book chases the biggest liquidity. It likes to seek out liquidity. So with them pinging this much liquidity higher, I was confident they were at least going to make a run for it. And sure enough, they did. Not only did they breach it, but they went another 100 points beyond this throughout the session. Hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions about this trade or any other trade. Be on the lookout for more trades coming out in the weeks, and I'll see you next time.